Welcome into Chatting Practice, powered by Zoom Events. I'm Sierra Santos, coming to you from our Zoom room at MLB Network. Today, we are going to be chatting with a Mets legend and their all-time saves leader in John Franco. And some lucky fans are going to get a chance to ask him a question live on the air. So let's go ahead and bring John in. How we doing today? I already commented on it. Fantastic, killer view. But how's everything going?
Everything's going well, besides a little aches and pains, but otherwise it's going well. You know, we had the old timers day the other day.
First question I wanted to ask, and I was going to ask, how sore are you still? But you were part of the Mets alumni game over the weekend. Okay, first, how sore are you?
I'm not too sore. I'm not sore at all because I didn't get a chance to pitch. I just had total shoulder replacement, so I'm a little sore from running out to the mound and taking some of the pitches out that we had. So. I had to take Al Leiter out of the game. You know, he didn't do too well. And then Kirk Wendell hurt his calf, and Rick Reed hurt his leg. So we had quite a few guys go down, and I think we had to call the game after 4 innings, so we ran out of pitching.
Okay, fair enough. But give us a field report. Who still got it?
I have to tell you, Piazza was playing Pepper with the left field seats. Jose Reyes, Carlo Beltran, they were hitting balls out like they were still playing. They were just like, I was just standing there and saying, man, I'm glad I don't have to pitch today. But they were on my team. My team was like the team 50 and over. And the other squad, there were guys like, maybe 32 to 45. And those guys were pitching, and it was like they were still playing in the big leagues. R.A. Dickey was throwing his knuckleball, which wasn't fair. Piazza struck out, and Benny Agbayani flew all the way from Hawaii just to strike out. So it wasn't fair for those guys. It was kind of like, hey, take it easy on the old guys.
Isn't it funny how it's like, I feel like former athletes they never lose that competitive spirit.
Oh, totally. Nobody wants to be embarrassed, no matter how old and no matter what the game or the situation is. We're there to throw, lob the ball in so the big time home run hitters get a home run and make the plays. Ray Ordonez was playing third base, and Juan Lagares hit a shot. And Juan Lagares is still playing winter ball in Dominican Republic. And he had a shot. Ray caught it backhand like he never left, like he's still playing. Made a great play, threw to second to Joe McEwen, threw to first to Benny. We almost got a double play out of it. So some guys they don't lose it, but we still have that competitive nature, and we still don't want to embarrass ourselves out there.
I just saw Al in the makeup room. I'm going to ask you more about him in just a second, but our first fan is ready to go. Let's go ahead and bring in our first fan. Hi, what is your name and what question do you have?
Hi, Sierra. Hi, John. My name is Connor, and my question for John is, when you became the Mets all-time saves leader, what went through your mind?
Well, what went through my mind was I was very happy about it. I grew up a Met fan. One of my favorite players growing up was Tug McGraw, who was a relief pitcher for the Mets, and that's why I wear number 45, because he wore 45. And going through my mind was, hey, I accomplished something great for the Met record, and also for the Major League record. I'm the all-time saves leader for lefties.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, it is cool, right? That's awesome.
I didn't know he was the all-time saves leader for lefties. So
yeah. See, look, now you got a new stat.
Yeah.
That's awesome. Thanks so much for coming on.
Thanks for having me.
Okay, so you did get to hang out with former teammate Al Leiter, his son Jack, Jacob deGrom. Who are some of your favorite pitchers to watch in today's game?
Today's game, well, you mentioned Jacob deGrom is one. I like the kid from Detroit, Struble. He's pretty damn good.
Struble, yeah.
Yeah, he's pretty good. deGrom is good. Believe it or not, I love Wheeler from the Phillies, who was a Met. So
yes.
those type of guys that I really like. Some of the relief pitchers, obviously Diaz for the Mets, I like watching. There's so many young pitchers who have some great arms, and an old guy like Kershaw who still has it and still tricks them.
Well, something that Diaz doesn't have to worry about is something that you are rumored to have to deal with. Is it true that when you pitched for the Mets, there were cat-sized rats in the bullpen at Shea Stadium, and it was your job to exterminate them?
Well, we had a couple of young guys. We made them go into the dumpster and bang the dumpster out while they were coming out, and then we took care of it a certain way because. When I was with the Mets, I had my tomato plant, my garden out in the right field, so I want to make sure that the rats weren't eating them. So I had tomatoes, I had string beans, I had cucumbers, I had lettuce, I had carrots. Dennis Cook and myself and Turk Wendell, we used to take care of it. And when we were on the road, the ground crew made sure that they watered it for me. And during the game, if we got hungry, we would peel a cucumber and then eat it during the game.
Okay, I have so many questions about the garden, but I want to get our next fan on. So let's go ahead. Let's bring him on in. Hi, what is your name and what question do you have?
Hello, my name is Joe Maggio. Thank you for your time, Mr. Franco.
Sure.
And my question today is just with September coming to an end and with hopes of October, I was just wondering, as you're watching the Mets, which you love so much and perform so well for, what would you like to see, and who are you most excited about in this bullpen? And I know it must be frustrating at times, as it is for the players, the coaches, everyone, and the fans. But what are you most excited about come October?
Well, we're most excited about, I like the kid McLean that they just brought up. He's been pitching really well for them. And Sprout has pitched well for them also. I like to see the starters go a little bit deeper in the game, so it cuts the game down a little shorter for Carlos Mendoza to manage his bullpen. Day in and day out, when you have to get 15, 18, 12 outs from your bullpen, it puts a lot of strain on your bullpen and a lot of strain on the pitching staff too. So I would like to see the starters go a little deeper. The hitting, I'm not worried about. I think the guys will come around. The guys, unfortunately, a couple of guys are not hitting in good luck right now. But Juan Soto is unbelievable to watch the whole year. Pete Alonso finally hit a home run last night to win the game. And then Lindor and Nimmo and some of the young players are swinging the bat pretty well. So I just like to see the pitching go a little bit deeper in the game for them and cut the game down a little bit for Carlos.
What do you think about that, though? Because there are three really talented young arms, and you mentioned McLean, Sproat, Jonathan, and
Right.
How cool is it to see these younger guys getting a chance right now, and the fact that they're all postseason eligible?
Yeah, I mean, it's pretty cool. It's an on-the-job learning experience for them. So maybe one of those guys probably wouldn't have been here if some of the starters were doing their job. They kind of pushed him. I think Jonah started in Double-A, had a great season in Double-A, went to Triple-A, and dominated in Triple-A. So he's probably the youngest out of the group. The other two guys are very well polished. I like what I see. They don't get rattled. They change speeds. They work fast. So we've got some good young arms in the rotation with McLean and Sprout. And Jonah's going to be really good. I think he's got a good head on his shoulders. But being surrounded by some veteran guys on a team, some veteran pitchers, that'll help him also.
Our next fan is ready to go. Let's go ahead and bring him on in. Hi, what is your name and what question do you have?
Hi, I'm Janet Gagan. Okay, I have followed you forever. So you're a month older. Yeah, you're a month older than me. So I always looked at, oh, good, he's older than I am.
Did you get your Medicare card yet? I just got my Medicare
yes,
card.
I got mine. So in 2000, you had a newspaper article where you talked about your father, okay?
Right.
And you're on the top part. Okay, the reason why I know this is because my dad is the one that's on the bottom part of that page. I don't know if you ever saw it. It was about Emil Rashdorf. Yeah.
No, I didn't know that.
Yeah, I grew up in Elmont. Okay, so we used to go to Shea all the time when I was a kid. And now I live up in Middletown, New York, but we've been to Citi Field a few times. I took my grandsons, to Amazing Day. But I don't think you were there at the time that we were there. But I heard you were coming or something. So, because I was hoping to meet you, so this way I could,
Well, I'm sorry I missed you, but I'm meeting you now.
Yeah, exactly.
All right.
But I have copies of that article. I wanted to see if you could sign it for my grandsons at some point.
There you go.
If you send it to Citi Field and address it to Jay Horowitz, our alumni guy, he takes care of all of that, and I'll get that mail. I'll be happy to sign it.
Oh, great. Yeah, because it was so cool. I mean, like I said, I'm part of the Silver Sluggers. I got the button on Amazing Day. So
okay, great.
Yeah. So, but it's good to see you.
Thank you so much. I appreciate it.
Yeah, I enjoyed talking to you. Thank you.
Thank you. Bye-bye.
Question answered and request granted all in one shot. Let's go.
Hey,
Thank you.
that's part of the job. Love it.
Thank you so much.
Steve,
Thanks so much for coming on and sharing your story. That's really cool. Like, that's. Do you remember the article she's talking about?
There's been so many articles. That was back in 2000.
Yeah.
I'm probably, if I've seen it, I'll definitely remember it. But I know I did an article about my dad who passed away, and the reason why I wore the orange T-shirt under my uniform since 1987 was because of my dad, and I wouldn't have been where I was because of my dad. So I honored him every day by wearing his one of his sanitation T-shirts, and I wore that for my entire career. Towards the end of my career, even when I was putting it on, some of the sleeves would rip, and I had to get the clubhouse guys to sew it. One time it was missing, and I offered money to make sure that somebody could find it. So I still have it. It's tucked away in my baseball gear, and that's something I'll cherish until the day I die, and I'll give it to my son, and then hopefully my son will give it to my grandson.
That's one of the things we were talking about, actually, amongst ourselves before I came out here to join you for chatting practice. And one of the questions that one of my producers had was, were there multiple shirts or was it just the one?
There were multiple shirts, but I just wore one.
Okay.
I have another new one, one that I haven't worn here in the house, but the one I just wore the one for the whole time, my entire career. So it was. If you touch it now, it'll probably rip as you're trying to pick it up right now.
Yeah. But you got to keep it in good condition because you got to pass it down, right?
Exactly. I was thinking about wearing it at the Old Timers the other day, but I don't think it would have lasted through the day. So
no.
Yeah, it would have been pretty cool.
Have you thought about framing it?
Yes, but I'd just rather keep it where it's at. It's for my other baseball stuff. Yeah.
No. Okay, so I didn't get to ask about the garden. I didn't realize, I had no idea that you had such a green thumb. Are you still gardening to this day?
No, but my wife's family lives in Brooklyn, and they have fig trees. So I go every once in a while and pick some fresh figs out of the garden there, off the trees there. But it's kind of hard to have a fresh garden on the 57th floor in an apartment.
That's what I was gonna say. I was like, where are we keeping the garden these days? But I bet if you asked, you could probably keep a garden at Citi Field.
I don't know if they have the room out there in the bullpen now. I don't see any grass area. So, Joe Pignatano started that garden years ago when he was the bullpen coach for the Mets, and he was from Brooklyn. And I've got to know Joe over the years. And then when I came over to the Mets in '90, I said, wouldn't it be cool to just start a garden again? And then that's what I did. And it was a lot of fun doing it. During the game, in the bullpen is so boring sometimes. We would get the rake out and start raking make sure it was clean and stuff like that. You couldn't order a pizza every game to bring it to the bullpen, so we had to just do something else.
No, it's a healthy snack. I love it.
Exactly. Especially now, it's all about nutrition now, right? I was ahead 100%. Of the game.
Yeah,
I was ahead of the game back then.
You were on the forefront of the game, the pinnacle of health. Are you kidding me?
Exactly. But maybe that's why there's a lot of hamstring injuries right now. These guys don't have enough fat on themselves. Maybe they gotta get some fat.
That's it. Hey, isn't that the joke? You can't pull fat?
Exactly. I tell some guys, come stay with me for a week to 2 weeks, and I'll feed you enough Italian food. You put some fat on you.
Let's finish up with some rapid fire questions. Okay, so have you seen Hunger Games?
No. Well, I saw number one. I didn't see the rest.
Okay, but you know the gist of it.
Yeah.
Okay, so who out of any of your teammates that you played with would win the Hunger Games?
Turk Wendell. Not even
Zero
close.
hesitation.
No, because Turk is a hunter. Turk used to put a fake decoy duck in center field and get his bow and arrow from the mezzanine and shoot target practice before batting practice. Turk Wendell, hands down, he's got all kinds of animals' teeth around his neck. He survived. Supposedly he killed a mountain lion, got caught in a blizzard, slept the night in a cave, and dragged the mountain lion out the next day. So, hands down, Turk Wendell.
That's the craziest story I've ever heard.
Oh, you got to have Turk on. He'll tell you some crazy stories. I remember I had a raccoon bothering my property, and he told me to bring it in. And I said, what are you going to do with it? He goes, I'll take care of it. I said, no, if I know Turk, he's going to kill it. So I said, no, we're just going to have to let it go in the woods.
That's incredible. Okay. Do you hit snooze or wake up right when your alarm goes off?
I wake up right away. If I hit the snooze, I'll never wake up. So as soon as I hear that alarm go off, I jump out of bed.
What TV show are you watching?
I'm not much of a TV show. I love Seinfeld. You know, I love watching the reruns of Seinfeld. So, and
Okay.
basically TVs, most of the time the ball games and stuff like
Yeah.
that. All these other shows, I don't get into that stuff.
Sure. What movie have you seen the most times?
Godfather.
Great
Shocker.
choice.
Shocker.
Great choice.
Yeah.
What is a hidden talent you have?
Hidden talent. I could bird whistle.
Bird whistle.
So, you know, pretty loud. You learn a lot of things in the bullpen, you know. So
Wait,
when
what
you're
kind
bored-
of bird though? Like what kind
I don't know. It's like any kind of bird. When you grow up in Brooklyn, you learn how to whistle, you know. So
Wait,
my father used to whistle for me and my brother to come up and eat. If we didn't come up and eat, he made
How
sure
do
we
you do it though? Like are you a
through the mouth. You know, you could do it with your fingers, through the lips.
Okay,
I'm doing it through my mouth now. You know, stuff like that.
Wait, will you do? Okay.
You're gonna
Oh,
roll
the
your
Zoom's
tongue.
not picking it up. Okay. What is your go-to karaoke song?
My go-to karaoke song. You Lost That Lovin' Feeling.
Great choice. What would you be if you hadn't been a baseball player?
It's funny you asked that question because I was just on a Zoom the other day and someone had asked me, and I'd probably be in some law enforcement. I have so much respect for the police and firemen, FBI.
Yes.
You know, I have so much respect for them. I'm intrigued by the work that they do day in and day out. Because of them, you and I and the rest of the country could put our heads on our pillows safe at night.
Absolutely. If you taught a class, what would the subject be?
How to survive in the big leagues.
I love it. It's perfect. You know what? You could probably go around teaching that class today.
Yeah. It's you know, it's funny. I talked to some of the young players with the Mets, and they had asked me what, you know, my off-season conditioning program was when I played, and I said I never picked up a baseball till the end of January, and then I'd throw 2 weeks in January, 2 weeks in February, 2 weeks and another 4 weeks in February, and then I'm ready for spring training.
So essentially, you rested.
Yes, exactly.
Good
Rested,
rest.
did my weightlifting, and played a little touch football.
Perfect. Who is the face of baseball?
Face of baseball right now? Mm-hmm. Ohtani, definitely.
What is your all-time Mount Rushmore of baseball players? And this doesn't have to be like the collective, everyone agrees with you. It is your personal.
Mine, for me?
Yes, the four.
Tom Seaver,
Okay.
Sandy Koufax, Pete Rose. There's so many like Mount Rushmore guys that are great. Love Johnny Bench growing up.
Okay, there you have it.
Raleigh Fingers, relief pitcher. So, you know, I got to throw a relief pitcher in there. I got to get one of those relievers in there.
We'll add a face to the mountain.
Exactly.
Just for Raleigh, though.
Exactly. Got to stay with that relief pitcher. You know?
John, thanks so much for doing this. We really appreciate the time.
Thanks for having me. I enjoyed it. Great seeing you again.
I'll see you out at Citi Field sometime.
Yeah, I'll see you in Steve Napolitano's suite.
Yep.
So that's where we at.
That's where we always find each other.
Exactly. You're always
Thanks,
welcome
John.
there.
And I'm gonna ask for more gardening tips when I see you in person.
Okay, you got it. Have a great
Appreciate
day.
See ya. Bye. That is going to do it for another episode of Chatting Practice, powered by Zoom Events. I'm Sierra Santos. Thanks so much for watching.